Okay, so here's the song Blue Moon, the 1950s classic, for my students who are doing this as an instrumental. Number one, you will have the tablature in front of you, which is really, really simple. And I'm going to show it that way. I'm going to not complicate it. I'm going to keep it really simple. Learn it simple, then you can complicate it. Okay, so we need to understand a few things. Number one, you can see I've got my capo at the 2nd fret. Why? Well, not because of the song, just simply to, if we have it at the 2nd fret, it reduces the width of each fret, because as you go up the neck, the frets become narrower together, as you can see as I'm going up the neck. So that's going to be easier for you doing a spread of notes and chords. And number two, it will lower your action down as low as it can be, which makes life easier. You can set it where you want. Now, there's three things to think about to start with this song. Number one is the chords. And on sheet one, you are going to do these chords. C, a very bog standard simple C, with a high G. Okay, there's your high G. C plus high G. Okay, C plus high G. C plus high G. Second chord is A minor 7, which is a very simple A minor chord without the third finger. A minor 7. That's simple. Third chord, D minor 7, which is those two strings plus this. Okay, so you've got a C plus a high G. You've got an A minor 7, and you've got a D minor 7. And finally, at the end of sheet 1, you will have a G chord. Okay, now notice how I've done my G chord. I've done it using the third finger and the fourth finger. And in doing that, what I'm doing is I'm killing string 5. Listen to string 5. It's dead. String 6 is held down. String 5 is dead. What I'm doing is I'm putting the finger there against the 6th string and I'm resting it against the 5th. And the little finger, you can see, is on 1st string. So you've got the 6th string and the 1st string held down and the 5th string is deadened. And when you play, you got a nice G chord minus the low B. And the reason I'm doing that is because the chord that I'm going to, that's going to be before the G, is a D minor 7. So look, when I do that D minor 7, I can easily get to the G. Now, if you do the D minor 7 and you insist on doing this G, you know, you're just making life awkward for yourself, because you've got to not only move your fingers, you've got to move your whole hand, your wrist, your elbow. Look, so difficult to do when you can just do simply that. Yeah? So that's why we need to do that. Okay. So to start with, I'm going to show you in this video just simply how we do the first part of it. Okay, so that's the first thing to think about is the chords that I've gone through. Second thing to think about is single note melodies that we're going to play in this, and conveniently most of it is at the first 3 frets, which means 1 finger per fret rule, so that if a note is at the 1st fret, doesn't matter which string, it's your 1st finger. Same for the 2nd fret, same for the 3rd fret, 2nd finger, 3rd finger. When we go outside of that configuration, we'll either be using the 4th finger or the 3rd finger. And the reason for that is simple. You don't want to be doing a note at the 3rd fret with your 1st finger, because then you've got to go all the way back there. You don't want to be doing a note at the 5th fret with your 1st finger, because you've then got to go all the way back there. We use the fingers and we walk over the fretboard. Okay, and that leads me to the 3rd point, which is that you start with a bass line. And I'm going to put that down as the first thing for this video. Okay, and you can learn that. So here's the bass line, and watch, I will do 1 finger per fret. Now, if you watch that over again, you will notice that I did 1 finger per fret. And the second time I ran it through, you notice I did a double note. Okay? So watch that, compare it to the tablature, and you try and learn that to start with. That's your first task for this, okay? And to understand those chords, so you're not thinking, what is C plus G? How do you do A minor 7? What's D minor 7? And how did we do the G? You need to know those things. So learn that first, and then move on to the second video, which I'll show you how to play the song.